गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्य वस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिविव चक्षुराततम् ॐ ह्लीं ध्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Can everybody repeat Hare Ramakrishna 3 times? Om Hare Ramakrishna Hare Ramakrishna Hare Ramakrishna. Okay.
Is it no class in Diji?
I don't know Andy. Okay, so where are we? Are we about to start the 10th Lord in 12th is also over, I thought. Yeah. 10th Lord is over. So start 11th Lord, right? Yeah. That's what I remembered. Okay, yeah, you probably missed that class. Or missed the first half or something like that. Okay, page 229 in Santanam version of BPHS. Verse 121. लाभेशे लग्नगे जातः सात्विको धनवान् सुखी समदृष्टिः कविर्वाग्मी सदा लाभ समन्वितः. लाभेशे, if the 11th Lord Lagnage is in the Lagna, Jataha, a person born like that. Satviko, he is a Satvik person. He is a Satvik, approximately can be translated for me. You can say pious, but Satvik means somebody who has Sattva. So we have the 3 gunas, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. But obviously, you can't say whether somebody will be Satvik or Rajasic without looking at the planets. If the planet in question is Mars, it won't be really Sattva. So he's not really, even though he used the word Satvik, he's not really talking about the 3 gunas, Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. Exactly what he means, we'll try to figure out. But he's saying Satvik, which basically means, approximately translated as somebody who's good-natured, soft-natured, gentle-natured.
It could also mean, even if it is Mars or somebody,
yeah,
it would also mean it is on a very mild note.
Probably not, because guna cannot be said just based on the houses. The guna, the ruling guna of a person's nature cannot be just said based on which Lord is in the Lagna, right? So the thing is, the same 11th Lord in Lagna can show different gunas. So definitely he is not talking about guna, even though he used that word. He is using a similar meaning, some other meaning. We will find out what it is. Samadrishtihi. Samadrishtihi means? Equal vision. Somebody who is very balanced, who is not perturbed very easily by anything. Kavihi. Kavihi means? Poet. Good writer, or good, you can even say good communicator, or skillful communicator. Vagmi means? Eloquent. Eloquent is the right word. Articulate. Somebody who knows how to say things. Vagmi sada labha samanvitaha. Sada, always labha samanvitaha. Always accompanied by a lot of profits. That means always very successful, has a lot of gains and profits. Okay, let's parse each of them. If the 11th Lord is in Lagna, why is the person Satvik? See, 11th Lord is a papi, right? Yeah. 11th is not really a great house from the point of view of benefics and malefics. The 11th Lord is a functional malefic, irrespective of who he is. He may be Jupiter or Mars or whoever. So we are talking about a papi, a functional malefic being in Lagna, and we are saying he is a Satvik person. Why? What could be the... Satvik can basically mean somebody who is good-natured, who is soft-natured.
11th house also
can it?
Friends.
Yes, very good. Go ahead.
That person is in Lagna, nature is to make some friends.
So 11th house is the house of friends, friendship, keeping friendship with people basically. It is the house of friendship. It is the house that shows friends. And your spirit towards friends. Your friendly nature. So that Lord a planet whose agenda is to give you a lot of friends. He is in Lagna. Lagna is your basic nature. So he is controlling your basic nature. So you come across as a very friendly person. So the thing is, your thoughts may be Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasic. You may, for all you know, you may be friendly with everybody because you want something from them. You want all of them to think that you are a great person. Then it's not really Sattva in the classical sense of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. But the thing is, he is basically a friendly person. He is somebody liked by people. Somebody is seen by people as a soft and gentle person. So by Sattvic, that's what he is talking about. A gentle person who is very friendly.
Moving with all people.
Yeah, moving gently with all the people so that people want to become his friends. He has that attitude of increasing friendship. Dhanavan, why is he wealthy?
Because 11th of gain.
Yeah. So 11th Lord of gains is in a quadrant as well as a trine. He is in Lagna itself. So he is very so basically financially he should be getting a lot of profits. So Dhanavan makes sense. Now Sukhi, why is he comfortable?
We didn't say all this.
For me?
We should balance poet and art to play.
We'll come to that, but before that there is Sukhi, right?
Dhanavan Sukhi was there?
Yeah. Satviko, Dhanavan, Sukhi. We are in the third one. Sukhi. After that we'll go to Samadrishti.
Right.
So Sukhi, why is he Sukhi? What is the house for Sukha? Lagna is also an important house for Sukha, we said earlier. Fourth house is normally seen as the house of Sukha because specific things like cars, house, all these things are seen from the fourth house. Education, vehicles, things that give you comfort. Mother gives you comfort. Then education gives you comfort at the next level. Then the house you live in gives you comfort. Then your cars, the vehicles that you own give you comfort. Various luxuries that you have, they give you comfort. All those are from the fourth house, the luxuries, vehicles, etc. Of course, heart is also from the fourth house. And heart also gives you comfort. At a physical level, actually whether you feel comfortable or uncomfortable is based on the strength of your heart. If heart is pumping blood very smoothly, you feel comfortable. If the heartbeat has some problem, if there is some instability or anything like that, then you don't feel as comfortable. You have blood pressure problems, all those things come. So fourth house shows all the things that control your sense of balance and comfort and peace, sense of happiness. Going all the way from mother till heart, till education, till vehicles, everything. So, but Lagna itself is your basic sense of self. So how happy you are, how comfortable you are is also from Lagna. So it is fourth house and Lagna showing it. So here, by using the word Sukhi, he is not saying somebody who has a lot of cars or a lot of comforts, lot of physical comforts. He is saying somebody who has a sense of happiness and comfort within him. That kind of Sukha, the internal thing he is talking about here. Then the 11th Lord of fulfilling the desires. 11th is the house of fulfillment of the desires. So the Lord of that house being placed in Lagna means that sense of, okay, whatever I wanted happened. That sense is driving the person's being, the person's basic attitude. So he is basically always contented. So here Sukhi, more than somebody who has a lot of properties or a lot of cars or a lot of articles of comfort, this means somebody who is basically contented. That is the real meaning of Sukhi in this context, in the context of 11th Lord in Lagna. The next one is Samadrishtihi. Samadrishtihi. He has an equal vision. He is balanced. Why? Why is he balanced? Why does he have an equal vision?
We can see from 9th house.
Okay, why from the 9th house?
But Drishti will come from 7th house.
For me?
Drishti is...
We are not really talking about somebody whose left eye and right eye see with equal intensity. We are not talking about that.
Samadrishti, like Yamadharma Raja will say Samadrishti.
Yeah, he has, right. Balance basically not perturbed by anything. Like, for example, if I say something nasty to you, you may be sad, you may be depressed, you may be disappointed. Or if I say, oh, Seshu is so great, then you may feel so proud of it. So the thing is, somebody who is not so perturbed by varying emotions, too excited sometimes and too depressed sometimes, not like that basically, or too attracted by something or somebody and too repelled by something or somebody. That is the meaning of Samadrishti. Somebody who is balanced, who's not taken away who doesn't have extreme emotions, basically, you can say. So why 11th Lord in Lagna gives that? Very good. Why 5th house? Why did you go to 5th house in the first place? Yes, 5th house is the house of emotions and emotional stability, right? It is your emotional self. So from the 5th house of emotional self, the 7th Lord is in 9th house. We always say a quadrant Lord in a trine or a trine Lord in a quadrant is a good placement. So from the 5th house, a quadrant Lord is happening to be in a trine. So emotional stability will be quite good. So from that point of view, he has balanced emotions, no extreme emotions. Kavir Vagmi, Kavihi, he's a poet. Why is he a poet? Why is he a poet? And why is he articulate?
From third house is
Yeah.
ninth lord in Lagna.
Third house of communications, basically. Also poetry is also from third house mainly. Second is just speaking. Speaking, but the thing is communicating in an artful way is more from the third house than second house. So from the third house, okay, what is going on here? He is the 9th Lord in the 11th house. Is it a good placement or a bad placement? 11th house is the house of fulfillment. So for her third house matters, this planet is in the house of fulfillment and he is the 9th Lord of protection. 9th house from any house protects that house. So he is the protector for communication skills. All third house matters. Brothers, sisters, communication skills, all those things. So, and initiative, for all those things he is the protector. And being in the house of fulfillment, the protector being in the house of fulfillment, he will basically take very good care of that house. So in general he is a very good communicator. And he may be poet also. Poetry is one possibility. Don't jump to the conclusion that if you see anybody with 11th Lord in Lagna, don't say he will be a poet. He may or may not be a poet, but he will have clarity of expression. He will know how to express himself. That's the bottom line.
And also ninth happens to be the dharma of the third house.
9th happens, right.
So his dharma is being fulfilled.
Dharma is being fulfilled. Dharma of the communication.
Related to communication.
Relating to communication, the dharma is fulfilled. Exactly. Okay. The next one. So Vagmi also we covered. Articulate. Why he is articulate? This is not somebody who talks a lot or something like that, but this is somebody who can talk nicely, who can express himself very nicely because his communication skills are really good. Then Sada Labhasamanvitaha, and he is always accompanied by profits, always endowed with gains. Why is he gainful? Well, the 11th Lord of profits is in Lagna. He is in a quadrant and a trine. He is in the so he is well placed basically. Any planet placed in a quadrant or a trine is well placed. So 11th Lord being well placed, he will have good profits, etc. His desires will be fulfilled.
Actually, there are two times this Labha has come, like first
Where?
in the beginning of the sloka also.
That there he just said Labheshe, which means 11th Lord. If the 11th Lord is in Lagna,
11th lord in Lagna, then he will have a song.
then he will be Satvik, he will be Dhanvan, he will be Sukhi.
And this one is, what is the difference?
Okay, so he has, right, there he, Labhasamanvitaha is, he always has profits, he always gets what he wants, because 11th house is getting what he wants. Now, Dhana, he also said Dhanvan earlier.
That's what I
Now let's go back to that, okay, we just jump to conclusion on that. Now let's understand it
from second or
better.
third actually.
Right, so how do you see the wealth of a person? See, having your desires fulfilled and keep getting profits is different, but the thing is you may also spend away those profits and you may not have any accumulated money. Wealth is accumulated money. Profits they keep coming. They keep coming, but also there will be expenditure, so it keeps going. But what you accumulate is from the second house. Now, if the 11th Lord is in Lagna, why does it mean the person is wealthy? Why does it make him a wealthy person? Why did Parasara say Dhanvan?
Because for the self, we are getting the 11th being the 11th son, we are getting the profits into self for him.
Right.
So when he gets a profit, he is a wealthy person.
Well, he keeps getting profits and he has money. He has money coming in basically. There is a flow of money. But does he accumulate money?
From second house, he is in 12th. He is in 12th from second, so he won't
Right.
accumulate, but he will keep getting. He will get and spend.
Okay.
But he will not become Dhanavan then.
So do you think that when Parasara says Dhanvan, he doesn't really mean somebody who has a lot of accumulated wealth?
I think in this context he is referring to it as more from material sense. Somebody who may not be accumulating, but who is getting and spending is also wealth.
Okay. Okay, fair. That's a fair way to put it. But the thing is, normally we use the word dhana for accumulated wealth, and we see that from the second house. What is your final take on his second house? Is it good or bad, or what does it show here?
My sense on that is it is good, but he is.
Why is it good? Why is it good if the planet is in the 12th house?
12th from second, he is not accumulating.
For me?
But if it is Rahu, Ketu, then only. If it is second, if it is 12th from his own house, that's the only possibility.
I think in this context that word must be meaning only purely from materialistic sense.
We are talking about dhana only materialistically. We are not talking about vidya dhana, like the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of other things, basically happiness. We are talking about money only. Okay, second house, let's say, shows money, accumulated money, wealth of the person. Now, with respect to the second house, this planet being the 10th lord in the 12th house, what does it show? What is 10th house from second house? Second house is the accumulated money of the person, right? The accumulated wealth, the bank balance, so to say, of the person, among other things. Basically, it is the resources he can use. Second house in general, the fundamental meaning of second house is resources of the person. So, the bank balance that you have is a resource. You can put it to use if you want to do something. You may or may not choose to do something with it, but it is a resource that is available to you. Now, with respect to that house, this planet owns the 10th house. What does that mean? What is 10th house? 10th house is action, house of action, karma. So it is actually the house of his agenda. The planet's agenda is to put the wealth of the person to action. How do you put wealth to action? By basically using it, spend it on some purpose, basically. Use it for some cause or buying something or some investment. So basically the 10th house from second house is not a house of keeping the wealth idle. It's basically the house of putting the wealth to use. Okay, so this planet's agenda is to put the wealth of the person to use. And where is he? Which house does he occupy? The 12th house of giving up. So the thing is, he will not actually keep he is somebody who actively puts his wealth into use and keeps investing it. So from the point of view of the wealth of the person, he is not somebody who just accumulates a lot of money in the bank and keeps it. He is somebody who accumulates, but also whatever he has accumulated, he is always circulating. That is basically but the thing is, he has something accumulated so that he can circulate. Because this planet being in the 12th house from second house, see, normally we say 12th house is bad house. But for the second house, 12th is not really bad. Lagna is not really bad for wealth. Second house is the house of wealth. But don't be under the impression that Lagna is bad because it's 12th house. It means losing wealth. Not really. It means spending the wealth. Who can spend money? Who can spend his wealth? Only one who has wealth can spend wealth. So both Lagna and second house are actually good houses, not bad houses from the point of view of showing wealth of the person. So anyway, so this planet is not only in Lagna, the 12th from second house, but also 10th lord. So he does show some prominent actions with respect to putting the wealth to use, which means he is basically a wealthy person. He is a wealthy person who is, unlike other people who are wealthy and also not really putting the money to use, just keeping in the bank balance every day, checking how much they have in the bank balance and checking whether one more zero has been added in the last 3 years or not, and then just be happy with it and hope that he will transfer it to somebody later or he will enjoy it sometime later. He is somebody who is proactively putting it to use.
So in this context, the Hanuman is reflecting that he is spending.
He's a wealthy person, but also he is somebody who is circulating the wealth all the time. These are the people that are needed in this kind of economy right now.
And being in the 11th lord, so that will in return may give gains.
Yeah, there is a flow going on basically. There is a cycle. Rotating the money. Okay, the next verse, 122. Labhe shedhana bhavasthe jata sarvadhananvitah sarvasiddhi yuto data dharmikascha sukhi sada. Labhe shedhana bhavasthe. If the 11th lord is in the second house of wealth, jataha, a person born like that, sarvadhananvitah, he has all kinds of wealth. So the degree has gone up from the last time. Last time we just said he is wealthy, but here he is saying he has all kinds of wealth. So he is actually talking about somebody who is really wealthy, who has accumulated a lot of money. Sarvasiddhi yutaha means he has all kinds of accomplishments. Data means giver. He is a giver. Dharmikascha, he is very dharmic too. Sukhi sada, he is happy always, happy and comfortable always. Okay, now let's pass each of them. Labhese dhanvavaste jata sarvadhananvita. Why is he endowed with all kinds of wealth? For wealth, two houses are very important. The second house of wealth and 11th house of gains and fulfillment of the desires. So the planet whose agenda is to fulfill his desires, and give gains, he is in the house of wealth itself. So basically, this is a very good combination for getting a lot of profits and also increasing your bank balance as a result of it. So this is a very good combination for somebody who accumulates a lot of wealth. Sarvasiddhi yutaha, he has all kinds of accomplishments. Well, again, accomplishment is basically from the 11th house. 11th house is the house of fulfillment of your desires, and that the lord of that house is in a quadrant from it. Taking the house itself as Lagna, the lord is in a quadrant. The lord of that house is in a quadrant from that house, and also he is in the second house of wealth of the person. So he has all kinds of gains, all his desires are fulfilled, and he accumulates the articles resulting from fulfillment of his various desires. But why is he a data? The next one is data. He is a giver. Why is he a giver? Why is he a giver?
We saw this before, from 12th house.
Yeah. First of all, like we said earlier, the second house of wealth contains the 10th lord from it. The 10th lord from second house, we said earlier, he controls actions, karma with respect to the wealth. What is the action that you can have with respect to wealth? Putting it to use, like spending it, investing it, donating it, etc. Right? So the thing is, even though this planet shows a lot of accumulated wealth, he also shows somebody who actually puts the money to use. Now with respect to how do you see the giving nature? What is the house, basic nature, house? Two houses, mainly 12th house, because that is the house of loss, and giving is a kind of loss. So 12th house is the main house for seeing your spending of the money. But the thing is, that can also mean a loss. You are going on the road, somebody, it could mean that. It could mean somebody robbed you. It could mean so many things. 12th house is just losing something, letting something go, either voluntarily or involuntarily. If somebody is giving, it is arising from his sense of dharma. So the thing is, you have to see dharma as well as 12th house, 9th house and 12th house. 9th house of dharma, 12th house of giving. So from the 12th house, how is this planet? He is the 12th lord in 3rd house. Is it a good placement or bad placement? Just like we said earlier, quadrant lord in trine, trine lord in quadrant. Similarly, a bad house lord in a bad house is also good. 3rd lord, 6th lord, 8th lord, those lords, 6th, 8th, 12th, 3rd, those lords, lord of one house being in another house is basically like a Viprit Rajoga from the 12th house. So from the 12th house, this is the 12th lord in the 3rd house. So there is a Viprit Rajoga with respect to 12th house. So there are a lot of expenses also, right, which can be donating, giving money to people. Now 9th house, dharma. Is he dharmic? Does he have a sense of dharma? Does this planet contribute to the dharma of the person or take away from it? How do you see that? 9th house, take as Lagna. Then from the 9th house, this is the 3rd lord, placed in 6th house. Is 3rd lord in 6th house good? Again, that is a Viprit Rajoga, right? 3rd lord in the 6th house, just like 12th lord in the 3rd house in the other case, 3rd lord in the 6th is also Viprit Rajoga. So based with respect to the 9th house of dharma as well as 12th house of giving, the planet is giving Viprit Rajoga. So he gives in plenty, basically. He is a big giver. And he is somebody with a very good sense of dharma. Moreover, this planet is the 3rd lord with respect to dharma. With respect to 9th house, 3rd lord of initiative, boldness, and in the 6th house of fighting, enemies and fighting. So this person is not only dharmic, he will actually be a
Fights for it.
fighter for dharma, for the sake of dharma. He is a bold fighter for the cause of dharma. So from that point, we are actually jumping ahead. After Data, the next one is Dharmikaha. So we are talking about that. So we already, as a part of Data, we already covered Dharmika. But I am in addition making a point. Apart from just being a dharmic person, having a good sense of dharma, right and wrong, he is somebody who doesn't hesitate to fight for it. When he sees this is the right thing to do, he will fight for it.
Actually, it was in my mind. You just spoke about it. I was about to say that.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Yes.
That's a combination for a fighter. Sukhi Sada. He is happy. Why is he happy?
He's in the fourth from 10.
For me?
He's in the fourth from the 10th house.
Okay.
The 10th Lord.
Okay. Very good. Very good. The Lord of the fulfillment of desires
He's going to fourth from there.
is in the fourth house from it. So with respect to the fulfillment of desires, there is comfort basically from 11th house. But also take the fourth house from Lagna itself, because that is the actual comfort of the person himself. The fourth from 11th is comfort derived from 11th house. You are happy that you are getting profits. But the thing is, are you happy in general? So further take the fourth house itself. So this planet is,
8th house.
for me,
From fourth is the 8th.
he is the 8th Lord, but which house is he in? He is in 11th house of?
He's in 11th house.
This planet is in the 11th house of fulfillment of desires. And moreover, he has Argala. He has Labhargala on the 4th house. Actually, he has Argala on Lagna also. Earlier we said Lagna and 4th house are the houses of Sukha. So this planet, who shows fulfilling the native desires, has an Argala both on Lagna and 4th house. So he ensures that the person is basically contented, as well as he has all the articles of comfort. Both 4th and Lagna are fortified. So he may have lot of luxuries, and also he is contented. Some people have luxuries but they are not contented. Some people don't have too many luxuries but they are contented. And this person is likely to be contented and having lot of luxuries. Both are there. Lagna and 4th both are fortified. Both have Argala. The next verse is Labhe she sahaje jatah kushalah sarva karmasu dhani bhratra sukhopetah shula roga bhayam kvachit. Okay. Labhe she sahaje jatah. If the 11th Lord is in the 3rd house, a person born like that, jataha, a person born like that, kushalaha means he is skillful. He is clever, skillful, etc. Sarvakarmasu, in all jobs. He is skillful in all jobs. Basically, he is a jaga of all, or rather master of all. He is somebody who can do anything basically. Who can quickly master various things, various skills. Dhani, he is wealthy. Bhratru sukhopetaha means happiness from brothers. He is endowed with happiness from brothers and siblings, brothers and sisters, siblings. Shula roga bhayam kvachit. Kvachit means a little bit. Shula roga bhayam means fear from. Bhayam means fear. Shula roga means disease of shula. Shula means like colic pains. Basically shooting pains in the stomach. It can mean, it can be approximately translated as colic pain. But pains that suddenly come, shooting pains in the stomach area. So he may have those problems. Okay, basically he may have digestive problems. That is the bottom line. Now why does he have all these things? Let us parse each of them. Abheje sahaje jata hai. Kushalaha sarvakarmasu. He is skillful in all things. Why is he skillful in all things? Okay.
Smartness.
3rd house? You can say 5th house is considered the house of scholarship abilities, but 3rd house is actually the house of your skillfulness. Also, it is the house of initiative, and usually skill is directly proportional to the initiative.
The 9th from there is.
So 9th Lord is in Lagna from the 3rd house. So actually all 3rd house matters like boldness, bravery, skills, specifically communication skills, and also siblings. Everything is fortified. Everything is really brilliant. 9th Lord being in Lagna. And so Kushala Sarakarmasu is one thing. The other thing is we also covered Bhratru Sukhopetaha. He is endowed with brothers and sisters happiness. That is also explained already, because third house contains ninth lord from it. Now the one that we haven't covered is Dhani. Why is he wealthy? Third house is not the house of wealth. So why is he wealthy? Yeah, the 11th lord has Argala on second. Basically 11th, any link between 11th and second is always good. 11th is profits, fulfillment of your desires. Second is your accumulated wealth. This planet has Argala, Dhanargala and Dhanasthana. So having Dhanargala, and also it is Bhavat Bhavam from the second house. So from that point of view, he is basically wealthy. And shooting pains. The only thing left is now shooting pains. Why does he have shooting pains? Sholarogabhyam. Kvachit. Sometimes a little bit he may have sholarogabhyam. He may have digestive problems, poor digestion. Why? How do you see digestion of the person from? Good. Why second house you said?
Because second is
Food? Yes, second house is basically the house of taking the food, but it's not the house of digesting the food. Digestion, where does it happen? It happens in the stomach, right? Second house is the house of mouth. First house is face, second house is mouth. And you eat food through mouth, so basically second house shows food. But the thing is, you don't digest in the food. Digest in the mouth, you digest in the stomach. This is third house is throat, fourth house is heart, fifth house is stomach, and so on. So you digest in the stomach. So fifth house shows digestion as well as anything relating to the stomach. So with respect to fifth house, is there a problem with this planet?
Why is shooting pin? Because he is from.
I mean, just one example. Don't yeah.
No, from 11th.
Yeah.
Taking 11th as Lagna, it is Lagna Lord in 5th house.
But 11th, why are you taking 11th as Lagna? He is not saying there are shooting pains to his profits. There are shooting pains to his body.
No, but I'm.
And right. So take Lagna. Take the fifth house from Lagna to see his digestion. Don't take the fifth house from 11th house, because you are not seeing the digestion of his profits. 11th house is profits, right? So take the fifth house from Lagna itself. So this planet, Tommy, he is Maraka and he has Arkala. On the fifth house of digestion and stomach, this planet has Argala, right? But what is his agenda with respect to fifth house? His agenda is seventh house. Seventh lord is Maraka. Second and seventh lords are Marakas. So he is a killer. He is a Maraka with respect to the stomach. So the lesson here is, you take any body part. The second and seventh lords, when they are associated with that house, occupy that house or aspect that house or have Argala on that house, they can give some problems in that house. That is the lesson. You can apply this to many things, right? If you take the second house, for example, it is vision. Second house is the house of eyes. So if you take the eighth house, that is Maraka for second house. So if the eighth lord has Argala or aspect or occupies second house or something like that, there can be problems in the eyes, like that. So here, Maraka from the fifth house having Argala on the fifth house can show. You are checking somebody's chart? No. Okay, I saw you making some chart. I see. Okay.
Same thing can be checked for the emotional stability of the person, sir, because
You can say that. With respect to the emotional stability of the person, again this person is, if this planet is a Maraka, having Argala on it. So sometimes he can become emotionally unstable and sometimes he can become disturbed.
What about but he is the 7th lord in 11th, it is not so bad.
He is not that bad, but he is also a Maraka. What you have to remember is 7th lord in 11th is basically one Kamatrikona lord in another Kamatrikona.
Which itself shows fulfillment to
Right, but the thing is, in certain matters, there is Kama is not really that useful. If there is something wanting in that area, it's not really good. Certain things are supposed to happen just smoothly, like digestion, for example, or even emotions. With respect to emotional stability, if there is a desire, and if you are talking about desire, fulfilling the desire, that means there is some problem, and then you are pursuing the emotional stability. So from that point of view also, it's not that good. So bottom line is, the seventh lord from any house can show basically some problems in that area, being a Maraka.
7th lord's placement.
Seventh lord's placement. Seventh lord is Maraka. Period. And if he also is placed such that he is ruining that house in some way or the other, then it is worse.
And in this time it is because of the Argala he is having on.
This time it is because of the Argala. Yes. It is the Harasthana, absolutely. It is a 6 from 6th. 11th house is called the Harasthana, Shivasthana. So, planets in the 11th house can give problems with respect to that house. Very good point. Yes, there can be some problem with children. For example, that planet Dasa, one of the children can have some danger or something. There is a possibility. Okay, so we are done with that. The next verse is Labhe she sukhabhavasthe labho matrikulad bhavet tirtha yatra karo jato graha bhumi sukhanvitah. Labhe she, if the 11th lord, sukhabhavasthe. If the 11th lord is in the Sukhasthana, in the 4th house, Labho, he will have gains. How? Matrikulad. Matrikulad means from the mother's family, mother's side. Bhavet will happen. So there will be gains from mother's side, from mother's lineage, from mother's family, somewhere from mother. So basically, on account of his mother, he will gain some money. He will have gains. Tirtha yatra karo jataha. Such a person born like that, jataha, a person born like that, tirtha yatra karaha. He does pilgrimages, tirtha yatras. He goes to tirthas. So pilgrimages, graha bhumi sukhanvitaha. Graha means house, bhumi means lands, real estate, sukhanvitaha. He is blessed with the happiness of lands, house, etc. So basically real estate is good. Okay, let's go through each of them. Now, 11th Lord of fulfillment of desires, if he is in the 4th house, why does he get? 4th house is the house of mother, and the 11th Lord of gains is in the 4th house. So he may have some gains from mother side. Apart from it, if you take the 4th house as Lagna to see mother side, if you take 4th house as Lagna, how is this planet? 8th Lord in Lagna. So what does it show about mother? Even though Parasara didn't say anything, is it good for mother? This combination is a bad combination for mother. For the native, this is good. For the native, this person shows the agenda of the planet is to give gain somehow or the other, to fulfill the desires of the person. How does he do? He will use the resources available. Each planet has an agenda. He wants to do some things based on the house he owns. And based on the house he occupies, he sees, okay, these are my resources. So he uses those resources to fulfill his agenda. So the agenda of the person is to give fulfillment of desires, happiness, gains, etc. And the resources he has is mother, because he is in the 4th house. So he will use mother or anything relating to mother's job, mother's car, mother's this, mother's house, mother's family. He will use all those resources and give fulfillment of desires to the native. Right? So labha matukulad makes sense. He will get labha from mother's side. But for mother herself, this is a bad combination. 4th house, from the 4th house as Lagna, the 8th Lord is in Lagna. Mother may be short-lived, or mother's health may be frail. Mother may have a lot of setbacks in life. So mother is unfortunate. But the person himself is very fortunate with respect to mother. Mother will help him get what he wants. Because 11th house is getting what you want. Now, Tirtha Yatra Karaha. He will do Tirtha Yatras, pilgrimages. Which house shows pilgrimages? Okay. Any other thoughts? Which house shows pilgrimages? Okay. Good.
Should be linked to 9th also.
Yeah, it should be linked to 9th because it is basically dharma, religion, etc. from the 9th house. But is 9th house the house of Tirtha Yatras, or is there another house?
Pilgrimage should be travel, so it should be long travel, so it should be also related to 8th house.
Why should they be long? Pilgrimage, why should a pilgrimage be long?
Third or 8th. Third.
Yeah? Okay. So, in general, okay. So, in general, 3rd house is the house of travels. So, this planet has Argala on the 3rd house. So, he can give travels. Agree? Now, why is the travel relating to religion? Why is it a travel relating to religion? I mean, religious places. It's not just going to some place for sightseeing. This is going to be a place for seeing God or following religion for religious reason. Why? Right. Also, he is the third lord from 9th house or 9th lord from 3rd house. So from the 9th house of dharma, from the 9th house of religion, this is the third lord of travel. So his agenda, one of his agendas is to give travel relating to religion. Of course, it doesn't have to be tirthayatra. It doesn't have to be pilgrimage. He may be somebody who goes around spreading religion. Maybe he goes around teaching people how to pray, how to meditate, or how to follow religion, how to do a ritual. Maybe he goes around places. That is also possible. But the bottom line is, third doesn't necessarily mean travel alone. It can mean initiative. So, but the thing is, some third house matter relating to dharma is in the agenda of this planet. So, initiative relating to initiative and boldness relating to religion, or travel relating to religion, or communicating relating to religion. So, all those things are in the agenda of this planet because he owns the third house from 9th house of religion, third house of travel with respect to 9th house of religion, and he is in the 8th house of, like you said, 8th house is basically the house of instability, moving, etc. So, being the and also third lord in 8th house is like a Viparita Rajoga, just like third lord in 6th house. So, this planet can give. Moreover, he has Argala on the third house from the Lagna itself. So, apart from saying third from 9th, see the third from Lagna also, because the person physically has to travel, his body has to travel. So, from the Lagna, the third house has Argala from this planet. So, he owns the third from 9th and he has Argala on the third house. So, he can give pilgrimages, he can make the person travel for religion. Gruha bhumi sukhanvitaha. He has house, land, etc. Why does he? All those things are seen from the 4th house, right? So why does he have all those things? Well, the planet whose agenda is to give fulfillment of desires and happy and okay, I have done everything, that kind of sense. That planet is in the 4th house of real estate. So he will derive his fulfillment of desires with respect to his lands, his vehicles, his house, etc. All the 4th house matter.
He is also malefic, sir.
Yes, he is.
So, and would it be so positive?
He is a malefic, but still he is the only one who controls getting what you want. So whichever house he is in, he will basically help you gain with respect to using the resources of that house. If he is in the 3rd house, he will make you gain in the matter of brothers. If he is in the 4th house, he will make you gain in the matter of mother or lands, vehicles, etc. If he is in the 5th house, he will make you gain in the matter of children. He will give you gains basically, fulfillment of desire. Okay, in this area, I got whatever I wanted. In general, 11th Lord's agenda is to give you whatever you wanted in all matters. But the thing is, he can't do that. No planet can give you everything. But ideally, the 11th Lord would like to grant all your desires. He is the granter of the desires. So wherever he is, he will try to grant you at least those things, unless there are some problems there. Because sometimes, even if he is in a good house, there may be other planets who are spoiling. So this is all in isolation. With respect to just one planet, we are giving the results. Okay, next. Okay, that's a very good point. So how do you reconcile? So taking Lagna, from Lagna, this planet is 11th Lord in 4th house, so he should give lands, etc. to the person. But from the 4th house as Lagna, taking the 4th house itself as Lagna, this is 8th Lord in Lagna. So what do you make of that? So there will be a lot of changes with respect to the house he owns. He will never live in one house because he has so many houses, so many lands, etc. He will be moving. He will be in one house now, another house 5 years later, like that. There will be a lot of instability with respect to the house.
Coming into him suddenly.
Also, he may have sudden gains with respect to 4th house. 8th Lord shows sudden gains. So 8th Lord in Lagna can also show sudden gains. Okay.
I think what Satish is saying is, if it's a malefic, it will depend upon how he is giving it.
Malefic, how he is giving, that is natural malefic. You are talking about natural malefic versus benefic. If it's a Jupiter, he will give in a one way. If it is Rahu, he will give in a different way. He is saying 11th Lord is a party, functional malefic. He is a functional malefic. Why is he good? The thing is, he is a functional malefic, absolutely. Because you can interpret it like this. He is a functional malefic because he is so attached to one thing. Every planet has an agenda. But imagine somebody whose agenda is to grant your desires. That's a really terrible agenda, because wherever he is, he will deplete that. In the sense, he will basically try his best to fulfill your desires relating to that. So the thing is, there is so much of dispersion of your energy with respect to that area of life. So that way he may be seen as a malefic because he depletes.
Yeah, the question was asked on a premise that if the eighth lord, for example, eighth house, if you consider the eighth house,
Yeah.
also functional malefic.
If 8th house is not functional malefic, 8th house is neutral.
Okay, sir.
8th house is neutral. 3, 6 and 11 are functional malefic. The last of the 3rd, 6th and 11th house are functional malefics, not 8th. Now the thing is, why 3, 6 and 11? 3 is the house of bravery and wanting something, desire. The source, root of the desire, basically the initiative. And 6th is fighting for something. And 11th is have to get something, basically getting what you want. Whatever you decide, basically fulfilling the desire. So these three things are considered evil, because some people even say these are not evil in Kali Yuga, this is Parasa, Sadhana, different Yuga, all that nonsense some people say. But the bottom line is, irrespective of what Yuga you are talking about, these are the things that burn you. These are the things for which the desire for something, the boldly pursuing something, or fighting for something, or wanting something at any cost. So those things will basically, the 3, 6 and 11, the matters shown by them, these are heavy duty matters which will consume, which will basically result in a potentially depletion of other resources. If you really want to do justice to 3rd house, 6th house and 11th house agendas, which are basically fight, whatever you want, fight for it. Want things, take initiative and look for things, and then whatever you wanted, make sure that the desire is fulfilled. So these are really heavy duty agendas which will deplete other resources. So for that matter, from that point of view,
By other resources, you mean the planets, the owners of that particular houses and whatever houses.
wherever they are, basically,
Wherever they are in.
if the 3rd lord of initiative is in some house, he will basically use that resources available in that house or the planets that he is associating with to make the person bold. So the thing is, these are consuming things. These are the things that consume your energy. So
They are also 3, 6, 7 also are Upachaya. They give you house
yes,
of
yes.
growth.
Because they consume you, they result in gains.
They result in gain. They deplete something, but they result in gain.
Yes. They are not really bad houses. Materially speaking, they are. You can even say they are good houses.
They are not allowing you to let go of things which is
Exactly.
the main reason.
Exactly. That is basically why those are the.
They are pulling you
They are
into
the.
stream of what
Yes.
basically
Yes. So they bind you more and more. So these are such heavy duty, intensive houses. That is why these are evil houses. Not really evil, but these are houses that bind you. Whereas if you take houses, trines for example, dharma, the dharma that you follow, the 5th house basically, Purpunya and the abilities that you have. So all these things basically, you are basically letting something go. You are doing something. You are the houses whose lords are functional benefics. Those houses basically don't bind you. They help you. They don't guarantee that you unbind yourself, but they help you liberate. Whereas the houses 3, 6 and 11, if you really have to do justice to those, you have to basically bind yourself. So that is why those are functionally malefic houses. But that doesn't mean the lord of 11th house is bad or lord of 6th house is bad. It only means he has an agenda. 6th lord, he wants to fight at any cost. Fight. Somehow make the person a fighter. 3rd lord, somehow or the other, his agenda is to make the person take initiative in various matters. He wants the person to have a drive to do things. To do what? Well, whatever is available. So it depends on where he is placed. He wants the person to have a strong drive to do things. 6th lord wants the person to be a fighter. 11th lord wants the person to be an achiever. Somebody who gets what he wants. So those 3 planets will, depending on where they are, they will try to fulfill those agendas. So anyway, here, so 11th lord being in the 4th house, he will fulfill the agenda using 4th house matter. Mother, land, real estate, etc. Vehicles. The next one. Labhe che sutta bhavasthe bhavanti sukhinah sutaha vidyavantopi sachila swayam dharmarata sukhi. Okay, labhe se sudabhavasthe. If the labha lord, 11th lord is in the sudabhava, means the house of children, 5th house. Bhavanti sukhinah sutaha. Children are comfortable. Children are happy. Vidyavantopi. Despite being educated, Sachila, they have good character and they are well behaved. So basically they are educated as well as they are well behaved.
Why did he use despite from that?
Because some people, if they have education, they become proud and they don't behave normally. So even at Parasara's time, probably lot of educated people were proud and ill behaved.
Saying something bad after that statement, but he actually despite
Yeah.
you generally use despite to saying
Yeah.
bad things after. Like why did he exactly?
Why he said it? So typically people who have vidya don't have good sila. People who are knowledgeable, they're so proud of their knowledge that they don't behave nicely. They don't have a good character. Swayam dharma rata sukhi. And also this person himself, Swayam means himself. He himself dharma rataha. He is very dharmic. He is interested in dharma. Sukhi, comfortable. Okay, let's parse each of them. There is just too much here. But most of it is luckily about children. Now with respect to children, he is saying they are comfortable. They are happy. Why are they happy? Well, from the 5th house of Lagna, 5th house has Lagna. Quadrant lord is in Lagna. 7th lord is in Lagna. So basically, 5th house is at least not spoiled. You don't have the 8th lord or 6th lord or somebody in Lagna. You have a quadrant lord in Lagna. Right? Like we discussed earlier, that being a Maraka being there can be some problems also. In the Dasa, one of the children can pass away also. That kind of things are possible. But he is talking about other results here. So, in general, a quadrant lord being in Lagna will make the person very happy basically. So, children being happy is fine. Now, why children can be learned? And why is he talking about learning and also about Sachila? Let's go through learning first. Why are children well learned? How do you see learning of children? Children are 5th house. Learning of children is from 4th or 5th. When he says learned, is he talking about they are learning a lot of things, or is he talking about they have learned and they have accumulated a lot of knowledge? Because the process of learning is 4th house. But after learning, what you accumulate, the knowledge that you have, scholarship you have, is 5th house. So when he says Vidyavan, he says children are learned, he is probably talking about 5th house. Right? Children's scholarship he is talking about. They are scholars. They are learned. So 5th house. So 5th from 5th is scholarship of children. So that is 9th house. So from that house as Lagna, how is this planet placed? He is 3rd lord in 9th house. So he is a planet who shows initiative with respect to scholarship, and he is in 9th house of protection. So he protects the scholarship of in general 9th house is a very good placement. So the bottom line is, the scholarship of the children is protected by this planet. So the children are basically, maybe not all, this is just jumping to conclusions based on one planet, but in general there will be some children who are good scholars, well learned at least, having some good knowledge. But why are they Sachila? Why do they have a good character? How do you see character from? Character 10th house or 9th house?
5th to 9th house.
The sense of dharma, the right and wrong, is more from 9th house. 10th house is what kind of actions they engage in. Okay?
The 10th house, the actions that you do is what is.
You can say the actions determine what kind of character you have. You can say that. It is how honorable you are. That comes across from your actions also. That is a perfectly valid thing to say. But we will say 9th house is basically the sense of dharma. We will interpret Sachila as somebody who has good sense of dharma. So, taking the 9th house as 9th house from 5th house, which is Lagna. So, Lagna as reference, this is 11th lord in 5th house. The lord of the house of fulfillment in the 5th house, house of Punya. So, with respect to the dharma of children, this planet is in the house of Punya. So, there is some Punya guiding the sense of dharma of the children. So, children are very dharmic. And even with respect to the karma, the actions that you said, from the 10th house, from 5th house, which is 2nd house. The 10th from the 5th is 2nd house. So taking that as Lagna, this is the 10th Lord in 4th house. 10th Lord aspecting 10th house. So the thing is, from the 10th house, from the 5th house, 10th Lord is aspecting 10th house. So a quadrant Lord aspecting a quadrant. So it's not bad at all. So these children engage in good karma, they are very dharmic. Basically, things are very rosy for the children, just based on this, without other modifying factors. Now, after he said all those things about the children, which are all very nice, he said, Swayam Dharmarata Sukhi. He himself is a very dharmic person, interested in dharma. Why is he dharmic? Well, very similar to one of the things that we saw, because we earlier said children's scholarship, whatever logic we gave about children's scholarship applies to the person's dharma. 9th house as Lagna, to see the dharma of the person. The 3rd Lord of initiative is in the 9th house of protection. So his dharma is well protected, and also being the 3rd Lord from 9th house, he has some initiative relating to dharma. He has some strong drive to maintain dharma. That is why he didn't just say dharmika, he said dharma rataha. Rataha means, for me, somebody who is passionate about, or somebody, rata is basically from the same root from which the word rati comes basically. So somebody who has a strong passion, somebody whose mind is so inclined towards that basically. So he's a passionately dharmic person. Oh, one more thing is that Sukhi, he is comfortable, he is happy. Why is he happy? Okay. Argala 4th house, but from who? From the taking the 4th house. Now, if you are talking about his sukhas, what kind of car he has, what kind of various luxuries he has, for that you have to take the 4th house as Lagna. From that, this is the 8th Lord in the 2nd house, aspecting 8th house. It can give sudden gains, suddenly some luxuries can come, but in general, this planet is a Maraka. I mean, he is 8th Lord. He gives instability relating to luxuries. So here Sukhi doesn't necessarily mean somebody who has nice cars, nice bungalow, etc. That's not what he's talking about, right? Because from 4th house, this is not a rosy placement. What kind of Sukha is he talking about? From Lagna itself, if you take 11th Lord of fulfillment of desires is in Purvapundya, having Argala on Lagna. So he is talking about Lagna. So Lagna, the Sukha shown by Lagna is there, and also emotional stability shown by 5th house is there. So he is emotionally stable and he is contented. So those things are there. But he may or may not have excellent cars, etc. The last one. Labhe se roga bhavasthe jato roga samanvitah krura buddhi pravasi cha shatrubhi paripiditah. Labhe se roga bhavasthe. The 11th Lord is in the house of disease, 6th house. Jataha, a person born like that, roga samanvitah. He is endowed with diseases. Of course, actually I don't know why he used the word samanvita. Samanvita is used for well endowed. He is well endowed with diseases. So anyway, he basically said he has diseases. Krura buddhi. He is cruel minded. His intellect is cruel. Basically he is a cruel person. He is a ruthless person. Pravasi means stays far away. He doesn't NRI, yeah. He could be NRI, he could be non-resident Indian, non-resident Australian, non-resident Englishman. This is not just for Indians. Basically, he is non-resident. He leaves his motherland. He lives somewhere else. What else? Shatrubhihi. Actually, I have it. I have 6th Lord in the 11th Lord in the 6th house. I am a Pravasi. Pravasi. Then, Shatrubhihi paripidita. He is tormented by enemies. Luckily, so far it's not that bad for me. Not too many enemies. But anyway, Shatrubhihi paripidita means he is tormented by enemies. So now how do you parse each of them? Labhe se roga bhavaste jato roga samanvita. Why is he diseased? Why does he have a lot of diseases? Well, from the 6th house of disease, this is the 6th Lord in Lagna. So basically, he is the Bhavat Bhavam Lord for the 6th house. And also he is the Harasthana. Now, 11th house, so far we've been focusing on the positive aspects of the 11th house, which is getting what you want, desires being fulfilled. But 11th house is also, like she said earlier, Harasthana. It is the 6th from 6th. It is Harasthana, the form of Shiva which takes away things from you. So it shows that form of Shiva. So Now that Lord being in 6th house, Dusthana, the house of diseases, it can give you diseases. So he may be well endowed with diseases because of it. Now Krura Buddhi, why is he cruel? Why is he cruel? Well, 11th house is the house of friendliness. The Lord of that house is going into 6th house of enmity. So the thing is, he doesn't hesitate to the planet whose agenda is to make friends. The planet is placed in a house where he is given the job of making enemies. His agenda is, I want to make friends. But he is put in a place, in a job where, the only thing he can do is make enemies. So the thing is, he is not very, very friendly, and he basically doesn't hesitate to fight. So to give the fulfillment of desires, to 11th Lord's agenda is to give fulfillment of desires, and what he can do is make the person fight. So he makes the person a fighter for fulfilling the desires. So bottom line is, the person has more fighting spirit than friendliness. So that is the meaning of Krura Buddhi. It's not really somebody who's cruel or sadist or something like that, but the thing is somebody who's ruthless, who's a ruthless fighter. So he
logic will apply here, right? House of cruelty, 6th house is the house of cruelty.
Not really. You can say 6th and 8th are the house of cruelty.
Then this is 6 from 6, who is in 6th house.
Yes,
also.
right, absolutely.
That will make
Yes,
him to be more cruel.
right, right. So he can be cruel, he can be ruthless in fighting with people. Now Pravasicha, why is he a person who lives abroad? Why does he live abroad? Why does he live abroad?
Third Lord in 10th. We see some 9th house sometimes.
Okay.
9th and 12th.
Okay, what are the houses that show living abroad? Leaving your motherland.
9th, 12th and Bhadrakasthana.
Okay. Bhadrakasthana we don't know, so leave it. 9th, 12th. Okay. So from the 9th house of living in a faraway place, this planet is third Lord in the 10th house. He may take initiative to do some work in a foreign land. That is a possibility. From the 12th house, how is this planet? He is aspecting the 12th house. He is also from the 12th house of displacement. This planet is
He is the 12th Lord.
He is the 12th Lord. He is Bhavad Bhavan Lord for the 12th house, and he is in the 7th house. 7th house is a long travel, right? 3rd house is travel. 7th house is long travel. So he is in the 7th house from 12th house. So he can show a long travel in order to leave the motherland. So that is also there. And another thing, to be patriotic and to be in your motherland, what is the house? 5th house is the house of motherland and patriotism. So from that house, this planet is 7th Lord in 2nd house, not just 7th Lord. He is 7th Lord in 2nd house. What are the Markasthana? 2nd and 7th. 2nd and 7th both are Markasthanas. So here 7th Lord is in the 2nd house. So one Marka, Lord of one Markasthana is another Markasthana. He is a powerful Marka. So being a Marka to 5th house, he can make the person unpatriotic or away from the motherland. 5th house is the house of patriotism and being in the motherland. And also, like we saw in a few examples long back, if you want to see when a person will return to native land, 5th house is an important house. Now the last one, Chatrubhi Paripidita, troubled by enemies. Why is he troubled by enemies? Well, 6th house is the house of enemies, and the Lord of the house of friends is in the house of enemies. So basically his friends also can turn enemies. So he has a lot of enemies. He fights and he gets fought. He has fights to fight basically. So with that we will end Taras BPHS for today. We will do the second half of the 11th house in the next week's class. And let's connect the monitor and we can see some charts. Give me a computer, I will restart this recording. For an example, you guys can decide which chart to see and give me the data. Okay, if you guys come to a conclusion, give me the chart, give me the data. Okay. Okay, give me the data again. Just in
The
case.
girl who we said will get married in this year. I saw this.
Okay.
Saw this earlier.
Okay. Okay.
October
What is the date?
28,
October?
1981.
October
28, 1981.
1981. Okay.
10:45 a.m.
10:45 a.m.
Nasser Opet, India.
One second.
कितने बार था ये?
5 a.m. Nasraopet.
Nasser Opet. 10:45. The change is not taken.
నర్సారావుపేట అండి.
అవునండి.
ఇదేంటి ఇందులో ఫుల్ అట్లాస్ ఉందా అండి కంప్యూటర్లో? ఇస్ అట్లాస్ దేర్ ఇన్ దిస్ కంప్యూటర్? Should be there. Okay, I'm not getting Nasaraopet. Yeah, Narsaraopet is there. Instead of Narsarao, type Narsaraopet. Narasaraopet. Narsaraopet is there. Okay. Okay. Okay, how should I save this, Seshu? Kalyani. Kalyani marriage, okay. So just to refresh me, you said that we saw this chart earlier. Okay.
2 years back,
So we saw this chart 2 years back, okay.
and we said she will get married in the April time frame of this year,
Okay.
but
But it hasn't happened.
nothing happened. But
Okay.
a couple of things that came very close, but did not happen.
Okay.
And initially we felt she will get married, and this was our reading. We felt in 2007. We saw this 4 years back.
Uh-huh.
And then later on we corrected and
Okay.
discussed in class with
Mhm.
but want to see where we went from.
Okay. We'll see. And she's not yet married, right?
It's not yet married.
Okay. And she's still looking?
We're still looking.
Okay. Okay, what dasa did we use earlier? Vimshottari or Chaturasiti? We probably used Chaturasiti, yeah.
Should be there.
Because 10th Lord in the 10th house. Pardon me?
I think which part it should be.
Okay, anyway, I entered the data. Okay, so for those who are listening to the audio, the data is 1981, October 28, 10:45 a.m., Narasaraopet, India. Narasaraopet, Narasaraopet, India. The time zone is 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT, IST. The longitude is 80 degrees 4 minutes east. The latitude is 16 degrees 15 minutes north. Okay. Probably. Yeah, it could be the bulb going bad, but also we got this color sometime back and it went away.
But even
So-
now when you are doing between the two computers, it came normally.
Did it? Yeah. So I think it's something loose or something like that.
If one of the colors is having contact problem, that's
RGB. I see. Yeah.
here or in other.
Here or there. Here it is very tight. Let me check here then. No, I think it is tight. So anyway. Okay. So what Dasha is running right now? So why did we predict this year? Does anybody remember how we thought earlier? Are you sure we used Chaturasiti Samadasa or we used the Vimshottari? I think we must have used, even if we didn't use earlier, we'll use Chaturasiti Samadasa because 10th Lord is in the 10th house. So that is the right Dasa. So the Dasa running right now is Mars Dasa. Okay, we probably said Moon because Moon Antardasha we picked because Moon is in the 7th house in the Navamsa. Now the thing is, can Mars give marriage? See, Mars Mahadasha is running right now. From 98 till 2010, Mars Mahadasha is running. And within that, Moon Antardasha is running from 2008 May till 2010 February, right? So, Mars can he give marriage? If you look at the Navamsa, in the Navamsa chart, how is Mars? He is with the seventh lord, but he is also he is with both the seventh lord, Saturn and Rahu. But he is debilitated, he is in the 12th house, but at the same time he is Yokarka, so he has some chance of giving marriage, right? And why did we pick Moon? Probably because Moon is in the 7th house of marriage. So that is probably why we picked Mars Dasa, Moon Anta Dasa. And what is the Prachanta Dasa?
And there is a Parivartana also, right?
Between Moon and Saturn, right? Saturn and Rahu and Moon. Now what is the Prachanta Dasa running right now? If we said April time frame, what is the Prachanta Dasa running? Jupiter. Why did we pick Jupiter? Why did we pick Jupiter? I'm not sure. Probably we didn't look at the Prachanta Dasa. We probably looked at the Mahadasha, Antardasha. We probably used Thidipravesh more. But let us forget what we said earlier. If you were to look at this, Mars Dasa, Mercury Dasa, which has a better chance of giving marriage? Why Mercury? In the Navamsa, he is in the Lagna. Planets having to do with Lagna or 7th house or 9th house can give marriage. So he is, and also he is 7th lord in the Rashi chart also. If you take the Rashi chart, the 7th house of marriage is owned by Mercury, and he is exalted in one house, and the Upada lord is also with him. So Mercury is a very strong candidate, and Mercury is in Lagna in Navamsa, and he is also the lord of UL. And if you take Venus, exalted Venus as Lagna, instead of Lagna, if you give preference to exalted Venus, because 7th from Venus can also show marriage, just like 7th from Lagna. From Venus, Mercury is 7th lord. So all these things put together, Mercury is a very strong candidate. But probably we were in a hurry. Probably we also looked at Thidipravesh, but we probably wanted to give a prediction, especially if we did it 2-3 years back. We did not want to wait till 2010, and we were probably just looked at 2008, 2009 Thidipravesh charts, and we probably saw some good indications in 2009. Pardon? I can check. But the thing is,
Calculations are different right now.
why?
Because we have grammar so much different.
But there won't be that much difference. There won't be that much difference. That is possible, but still Antardasha will be the same, because we are in the middle of the Antardasha. Prachanta maybe if it's on the border it can change, but Antardasha, Mahadasha will be the same. So if you use, the only thing is, even the period right now has some potential, just based on Nakshatra Dasha, because the 9th lord Mars Dasha is running. Even though he is weak, he is afflicted by Rahu, he is in Nicha, he is in the 12th house. Despite those, he is Yokarka, he is the 9th lord. So there is some chance. It's not that you can rule it out. And Moon, he is in the 7th house with Parivartana with the 7th lord. So you can't completely rule out. So we basically probably looked at the next couple of years, next 2-3 years, and we basically saw this period there is a chance, and then we simply looked at the Thidipravesh also, because we always do that. We use Nakshatra Dasha, and then we use the Thidipravesh, and then we probably saw that the particular year probably has a good indication, so we probably made the prediction. We'll go to the Thidipravesh also, but the thing is, if we were to revise, okay, you said Vimshotri, let us check Vimshotri. In the Vimshotri, Saturn Dasha is running. Saturn, being the 7th lord, can give marriage. Right? Not only that, in the Rashi chart, he is Upada lord, and he is with 7th lord Mercury. Saturn can give marriage. And in the Saturn Dasha, what is the Antardasha running? Mercury. So Mercury Dasha is running right now. So probably if you use Vimshotri, Saturn Mercury is running. Let's leave the Prachanta Dasha. So there is Saturn Mercury based on Vimshotri, the standard Dasha, as well as the specific Dasha that applies here. There is Mercury Moon running. So both the ways there is Mercury running, either Dasha or Antardasha. For me? Oh, sorry, Mars, not Mercury. I was jumping. Right, Mars Moon. So both the ways there is association with the 7th house in the Navamsa. So we basically concluded that there is a possibility of marriage. Now let's look at Thidipravesh, which is still true. But the thing is, if you give weightage to the which Dasha? the Chaturshiti Samadasa, which is the current Dasa in this chart, even though the current Dasa has a chance, the next Dasa is much more auspicious. Based on Rashi and Navamsa also, it has a much higher chance. Very soon after the next Dasa starts. Now let us look at the Tithi Pravesh. We probably looked at 2007, 2008 Tithi Pravesh. Let us first look at 2008 Tithi Pravesh, the year in which we made the prediction. Here you are talking about the new software. Actually, which question is this? The Jagannatha Hora, with Jagannatha Hora, the Navamsa can change sometimes. Yeah, this is 1.2. Good. Is the Ainamsa, Jagannatha Hora? Good. Okay. So Navamsa can change. So we may have used a different Navamsa Lagna. That is the only thing. But Vimshotri or Chaturashiti Samadasa, we must have got basically same calculations, even 2 years back. Now let us go to Tithi Pravesh chart. So she was born on the Shukla Pratipada. Okay, so Tithi Pravesh chart is cast for 2008-2009 year. The annual lunar return chart is 2008 October 29, 1:19:12 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Narasimha Rao, Patt, India. So we expected marriage in this year. Where is the Hora Lord? Who is the Hora Lord? Mercury. So Mercury is the Hora Lord, right? And in the Rashi chart, he is exalted in the 9th house. And he is the UL Lord in UL. So in the Rashi, even though he has nothing to do with 7th house of marriage, he has a lot of things to do with the 9th house and with UL. Now, even in Navamsa, he is in Lagna. And he is UL Lord, just like in the natal chart. Just like in the natal chart, he is the UL Lord in the Navamsa Lagna. So, and he is the ruler of the year. Pardon me? 7th house has moon like in the natal chart. But the thing is, here he doesn't really show marriage. Moon has nothing to do with marriage. He is the 12th lord in the 7th house. He is not that great. Anyway, so that is probably why we expected marriage during this year. Is there any planet which are the planets who can give marriage during this year? Mercury. Mercury and Saturn is the 7th lord. So probably that is why did we say April time frame? We would have said February, March time frame. Okay. Saturn also possible, but we would have actually, if we were using this data, if we were predicting, we would have picked Mercury. So Mercury, there is a good indication. There is a possibility, but the thing is, we know now that it didn't happen. Now, is there a possibility in the rest of the year?
That time frame, something came very close and did not happen.
Okay. See, this is why we have seen in the past that you can make your best attempt at prediction, but it's not basically, you can never be 100%. For example, on the basis of Tithi Pravesh alone, you cannot predict, because if you look at next year or maybe 5 years later, maybe there is a much better Tithi Pravesh chart. We don't really look at all the years. We just look at 2-3 years. So you have to also use the natal Dasa, the Vimshoti Dasa, Chaturashiti Samadasa, or whatever you are using. And in the Chaturashiti Samadasa, if we look at it now, Mercury seems to be a much better candidate than Mars. But the thing is, we have no way to know for sure that it will be actually Mercury who will give the result. So the thing is, we mix various techniques, hoping that by the confluence of all the techniques, we'll basically get the correct result. But the thing is, still, despite our best efforts, it will be a certain percentage, maybe 90% in some kind of predictions, 95% in some kind of predictions, and only 60% in some other kind of predictions. So we basically went wrong. My postmortem is, Tithi Pravesh does have a good strong indication. Tithi Pravesh, I think, expecting in the Mercury Dasa in this Tithi Pravesh chart is actually a logical thing to do. Probably where we went wrong is in the Nakshatra Dasa itself. We probably use Vimshoti Dasa, or if we identified that Chaturashiti is the correct Dasa, we probably did not want to wait till Mercury Dasa. We didn't pay attention to Mercury. We just said that, okay, Mars himself, being the 9th lord, he can give marriage. And being Yokarka, and being with the 7th lord, we probably said, despite his weaknesses, being with Rahu and being in Nicha, we ignored that and we said he can give, and we probably picked the moon under this. That is probably what we did. Now the thing is, now apart from the postmortem, how do we revise our expectation? Do we think that the rest of the Mars Dasa can give marriage? Actually, look at this Tithi Pravesh. the coming Antardashas, do they have a potential to give marriage? Rahu, Venus, Sun. Not really. Venus, even though he is Karaka of marriage, he doesn't really show anything relating to marriage here. Sun, even though he is Lagna Lord, he is actually in the 6th house with Ketu in an inimical sign. He is unlikely to give marriage. So I don't expect marriage in the rest of the year. It is not so likely.
Ketu for lineage, right?
Yes, but he is in the 6th house. 6th house is separation, not marriage. If already married, Ketu and Sun here will show separation. So he is unlikely to give marriage. In order to give marriage,
Rahu has some chance being a 7th Lord in 12th house.
yes.
He has some potential.
Being the 7th Lord, he has some potential. But the thing is, he is involved in a Parivartana which is not really happy Parivartana. He is engaged in a Parivartana with his enemy, with enemy moon. And 12th house is not really the house of getting married. So from that point of view, he is not really that strong a candidate. Moreover, from the Hora Lord, the ruler of the year, he is in the 12th house. He is basically not influenced by that. He is not in good terms with the ruler of the year. So he is like somebody who wants to do a project, but CEO doesn't pay attention to him. So his project will not be done during the year. For me? Yeah. Rahu has Argala. He has Argala and Lagna, right? 7th Lord has Argala and Lagna. But what I am saying is, still his placement is not ideal. So the chance is not very high. Moreover, if we give weightage to the natal chart now, the Dasa of Mercury seems far more interesting for the reasons that we have already mentioned compared to Mars Dasa. So instead of the result coming at the fag end of Mars Dasa, Mercury Dasa seems more likely. And that doesn't have to be February 13. They can be plus minus a couple of weeks. We don't know for sure. The time may be a few minutes wrong. So it may be basically sometime from the beginning of 2010. So the rest of this year doesn't seem that promising. But next year, 2010, 2011, especially Mercury Antardasha is very promising. Basically 2002 February till 2011 November. So that basically covers 2 annual charts. So let us look at this year's annual chart, annual TP. 2009 October 18. That is when the current year's birthday, the Kartika Shukra Pratipada will come during 2009 on October 18. That is her birthday. So during this year, is there a chance of marriage? During this year, is there a chance of marriage? And if so, what is the best possible period? Now first, look at the Navamsha. In the Navamsha, how much leeway do we have? 1 minute 43 seconds. So assuming the time is not off by more than 1 minute 43 seconds, assuming that it is accurate, under the assumption, yes, Jupiter. Why Jupiter has a good chance? He is the Hora Lord, the ruler of the year. He is the UL Lord. He is the 7th Lord of marriage. He is in Kamatrikona. He is in 11th house, exalted with Ketu. And here, unlike in the other case where Ketu was in the 6th house, here they are in the 11th house, which is a trine from the house of marriage. It is actually 5th house of Purvapunya from the 7th house of marriage. So, and Ketu, like you pointed out correctly earlier, he shows continuing the lineage. So he can give marriage for continuing the lineage. Basically an arranged kind of marriage with this Jupiter-Ketu combination rather than a love marriage. So Jupiter is a very strong candidate. He is UL Lord too, not only 7th Lord, but he is also UL Lord in Navamsha. Right? And in the Rashi, does he have anything to do with marriage? Not much. But he is the 9th Lord. He is the 9th Lord of Dharma. Right? Yes, there is Gurjandal Yoga. That's not so great, but still he is the 9th Lord. And Gurjandal Yoga is not that close. They are far apart. They are 22 degrees apart. More apart from being the 9th Lord, he also aspects 7th Lord Venus. Jupiter has aspect on the 7th Lord Venus. And let us look at the Sahamas. Where is Vivaha Sahamam? Vivaha Sahamam is in 25 degrees Taurus. So Vivaha Sahamam is at 25 degrees Taurus. Does Jupiter have anything to do with it? He aspects his Lord. Actually he aspects it. 25 degrees Taurus means Jupiter is 23 degrees Capricorn. He has within 2 degrees, he has a very close aspect on the Vivaha Sahamam. So he has a very close aspect on Vivaha Sahamam aspects the Lord of Vivahasamam to aspects the Lord of 7th house, and in Navamsa he is too strong. So there is a very strong chance. And when does Jupiter Dasa come during the year? It comes 1 year from now. It comes basically in the May-June time frame in 2010. By that time, the Mercury Dasa would have well settled, based on the natal chart. So based on the Chaturasi Samadasa, Mercury, even if there is a month delay, because there is, for let's say 3-4 minute error, even if there is a month delay, still by the time we are talking about, which is March, April, May, June time frame, the Mercury Dasha would be completely settled down. So that seems like a good possibility. Now, just to be sure, let us look at the next year, 2010, because based on the Chaturasi Samadasya Antardasha, 2011 also there is a chance, at end of 2010, 2011. So let us look at the Tithi Pravesh chart for that year. How is that? The data for that is 2010 November 6. Venus is the ruler of the year. Is there a chance of marriage during that year? Is this better than previous Tithi Pravesh chart? That is the thing to look at. How is this year? Yes. Venus is Lagna Lord and 8th Lord, and also UL Lord. He is the Karka for marriage. He is UL Lord, he is Lagna Lord, he is in the third house, Kama Trikona of initiative. And who is in Lagna? The 7th Lord Mars is in Lagna. And what else? Are there any other indications? Any other interesting combinations? In the Rashi, the same Venus, the ruler of the year, is the 7th Lord in the 7th house. With who? With the 4th and 5th Lords. 5th Lord of Pourpunya, 4th Lord of Sukha, Bliss. He is in the 7th house with the 7th Lord. So, is this stronger or the last year's chart? Why? In the last year's chart, Jupiter, who is the ruler of the year, if you take just the Rashi chart, he is the 9th Lord, and like he pointed out, he is in Nicha and with Kurchandal Yoga. Is that stronger, or this Venus in Mula Trikona, 7th Lord in 7th house Mula Trikona, and in also Navamsa being in a Kama Trikona, is this stronger? Aspecting the 9th house, is this stronger? Is Karaka also, which is stronger?
Being the 8th Lord,
Yes.
that is being the 8th Lord, he may not be.
Oh, that's fine. 8 is Saubhagya in the heart of a lady, 8 is the house of Saubhagya, so that's not bad. And UL is there. Let us, one more thing, let us look at the Vivaha
Because
Saham.
in general, 7th is the house of marriage and 8th is the break of that marriage.
Yeah?
So he may not be very convinced that is only after marriage.
7th Lord in 8th is
Yes. 7th Lord in 8th or 8th Lord in 7th. But here he is Lagna Lord as well as 8th Lord. 1 second. Now does Vivaha Sahamam have anything? Vivaha Sahamam is at 2 degrees Aries. So Venus does aspect Vivaha Sahamam. Venus is at 6 degrees Libra, and Vivaha Sahamam is at between 2 and 3 degrees in Aries. So he has a perfect aspect. Again, just like Jupiter was aspecting Vivaha Sahamam in last year's chart, this year's chart, Venus is aspecting Vivaha Sahamam. But he is also the 7th Lord. So if you ask me, see, both are possible. See, this is why I keep saying, we do astrology, we have some knowledge, and we have seen it working many times, but still this is fallible, this is not infallible. There is no way, unless you consider it entire. For me,
There is also an element of few minutes of accuracy in the given time.
there is an element of accuracy, and like I recently pointed out, one more point that I pointed out on the Sahamsa list, you don't know how the free will has been exerted until now in this life. This chart is based on the karmas as frozen at the time of the birth. So in addition, the free will has been exerted from the birth till now by her, her parents, everybody around her. So this has been modifying the possibilities a little bit. So exactly how it has modified, has it delayed further or has it pulled in, you don't know. Whether it will be a love marriage, whether it will be a arranged marriage, because if both are possible based on the natal chart, you don't know for sure. So the thing is, we make an educated guess. Astrology is basically an intelligent and educated guess. So let us actually make a prashna. So both are possible. The 2009, 2010. If this is the case, it has to be Venus Dasa. If this year gives marriage, if previous year it has to be Jupiter Dasa, maybe Rahu also for Ketu. Rahu Dasa also can give, because Ketu is also a candidate, but still Jupiter is much stronger. So basically April, May, June next year. The other possibility is, when is Venus Dasa coming? August 2011, August 12 to October 21 in the Shravan Masa basically. So 2011 Shravan Masa. So 2011 Shravan Masa is, if you ask me, my take is this is a stronger candidate. This particular thing is a stronger candidate than the other one. That is my take. We will make a prashna shortly to see whether prashna shows a more delay or less delay. Now, one second, let us look at the Prachanta Dasas. So, within the Mercury Dasa, if you are talking about...
But that is over, right? Mercury will be over by 2011.
No, it won't be. It will be still running till 2011 November.
Oh, November, yeah.
So, okay. So, in the time frame that we are talking about, the Antardasha is that of Prachanta Dasha is either Jupiter versus Mars. Anyway, forget it. Now, let's make a prashna. Where is the icon for Jagannatha Hora to start another instance? This one? Okay, this is 7.2. Good. So, we just made a prashna to see whether the marriage, the prashna is, unfortunately the person is not there. We are just, the astrologer is making the prashna. The prashna is, will there be more delay? Will it be, we consider two possibilities. Will it be the later one or the former one? That is basically what we want to find out. Okay. See, why is Shashtamsa open? Okay. So how do we see? Yeah, Rahu is in Lagna. What is this? Yes. Jupiter's influence has to be there on Lagna or Lagna Lord to actually take up the prashna, for God to give you answer. Now here Lagna has no Jupiter influence, but Lagna actually has a very strong Rahu influence. But don't go by that. The Lagna Lord Saturn is being aspected by Jupiter, not that closely, but he is being aspected by Jupiter. So the Lagna Lord Saturn has Jupiter's aspect. So let us take up the prashna. Okay? Agree?
Do we see this only in Rashi or Navamsa?
Rashi. Only Rashi. Okay. Okay, what else? Okay, in the Navamsa now. Navamsa shows the background of the prashna. The principles we use is, Navamsa shows what has gone on until now. It is the background of the prashna, the history of the prashna. And the Rashi is what is going on now. And the Drekana is the future. Now let us look at the Navamsa. What is going on in the Navamsa that we cast? The seventh lord of marriage. Assume that Lagna is the native, not us. Now the seventh lord of marriage, how is he placed? Sun. He is in the fifth house. In the fifth house with Mercury. So seventh lord and fifth lord, there is a Raj Yoga. But also the Mercury is also the eighth lord. So basically, what? You guys are getting a different chart? 8:33. Oh, this computer has a different wrong time.
Likely one question thought 28
Okay, we'll make 28. 8:28 p.m. So the prashna is cast at July 13, 2009, 8:28 p.m. and let's change South Grafton to Dracut. Dracut Massachusetts. Very good. It is actually right on the border. Okay. Okay, now look at the Navamsa. If you look at the Navamsa, to see the background, the seventh house shows marriage. In the Navamsa, seventh lord is moon. He is with Jupiter. So Jupiter can show astrologers. So basically, regarding the seventh house matter, regarding the marriage, an astrological prediction was given earlier, and Jupiter is retrograde. Here Jupiter is retrograde, and he also has Agara from Ketu. So
What does retrograde mean?
retrograde can mean something didn't happen, something was predicted by the retrograde. Can mean a prediction, slowness. in Jupiter playing his role. So astrologer made a prediction, but it didn't really happen. Moreover, Ketu has Argala and the Jupiter moon combination. Right? Ketu has a Dhanargala. So it can show basically, Ketu can also show mistake. Ketu is the Karka for mistake. So an error was made by an astrologer. So that is basically the background of this. Now if you look at the Rashi, in the Rashi, the Lagna has Rahu in it. Lagna having Rahu, and also Ketu is in the 7th house. So influence of Rahu and Ketu on Lagna and 7th house, is it good or bad? This is showing some delay, some confusion, etc. Rahu and Ketu are planets of confusion. So there is some confusion. So that is the current status. That is the current situation. And how is the 7th Lord? 7th Lord is Moon. 7th Lord is Moon. He is placed like Rahu is in Lagna, Ketu is in the 7th house. So the thing is, if you look at the current situation, there is some confusion, there is no clarity. Let us jump to the Drekana, because Drekana is the chart, the Parasara's Drekana. That is the chart in which you get some clues about future, to see whether there will be a delay or whether it will happen early. So what are the influences on the 7th and 7th Lord? So 7th house has Ketu again. 7th Lord is in the 7th house, Moon. 7th Lord, Moon being in the 7th house, Moon can show very early, like next few months, like that basically, next month. Moon can show very quick happening, or Ketu's influence is there. Moon is basically being eclipsed by Ketu. So Ketu can show distant future. Ketu basically shows a big delay. Rahu and Ketu show delay. So it either shows happening very soon or it shows happening quite late. So given this Drekana chart, my feeling is, compared to, we looked at two options, right? First we said next few months very unlikely. Then we said 2009-2010 chart. In that 2010 summer there is a chance, we said. And then we said, you know what, let us, instead of just making a prediction because we see something, let us see if we see something better. And we saw, in my judgment, we saw something better in the next year's chart. Basically Venus controlling everything in Rasi as well as Navamsa, without any weakness like Jupiter had in the Rasi, in the former chart. So looking at this, my feeling is, this Prasna chart seems to suggest that it will happen later rather than sooner. So probably 2011 is the year. 2011, when was that Venus Dasa? We said August, September time frame. So Shravana Masa of 2011. That is the, how old will she be then? 30 years, okay. Yeah. So that is my honest expectation. But again, like I said, there are conducive factors next year also. So if they try hard, you never know. It can happen next year also. We can never be sure. Like they say at the top of the editorial in Astrological magazine, every edition, that Suchayanti Grahacharani Suchayanti Mahishina, there is a verse from some classic which basically means learned beings try to predict, but except Brahma, nobody really knows what is going to happen. We only make educated guesses. So there is a very strong chance in 2011 and also a pretty good chance in 2010. So, but my take is, if I were to pick one date, I will pick 2011. And if you say this to those people, they will probably think these people just always predict 2 years from the current date. Because earlier also you said 2 years later we predicted. For me? Actually, that's a good point. Are there any remedies? What did you ask her?
I asked her to
Fast on?
Saturday, I think.
Good, very good. Saturday is the correct day. Fast on Saturday, and at the end of the day, Jupiter is the second lord from UL. So pray to Sadasiva. Fast on Saturdays and pray to Sadasiva. That will be a good remedy. In addition, are there any other things you can suggest? See, Darakaraka in the Navamsha. Who is Darakaraka? Jupiter. From him, who is the seventh lord? From Darakaraka? Mars. So, seventh lord from Darakaraka, Mars. So, you can suggest who shows Mars, which god? Hanuman. But for marriage, praying to Hanuman is not a really great idea. Pray to Kartikeya. Absolutely. So, Narasimha, Kartikeya, those are the possibilities. and Mars is with Saturn and Rahu. So rather than Rahu, because of Rahu, I will say my gut is more than Kartikeya, Narasimha, pray to Kartikeya. You can absolutely. Mercury is in the Lagna. Yeah. My feeling is because of Rahu's strong influence, there is a Sarpa influence in this as well as the Tithi Pravesh chart of the year in which you want her to get married instead of delay. So for that Sarpa influence, I would suggest Subramanya, Kartikeya.
Should I suggest using an yellow sapphire for Jupiter on 2010?
Why? Why yellow sapphire for why Jupiter?
Strengthen the Jupiter in 2010.
Why?
Because we have a chance of marriage.
Oh, you don't look at Tithi Pravesh chart and they say, I want this planet to give marriage, so wear that ring. That doesn't really work that way. If you wear Jupiter, what will happen is, he is Lagna Lord, so there will be good health, all those things. But in the Navamsa, he is the 5th Lord as well as 8th Lord. So he is not really conducive to marriage or anything. So I wouldn't suggest that. That would not be necessary. Actually, for marriage, Emerald is the best here, because he is the 7th Lord, he is the UL Lord, not UL Lord. UL Lord in Navamsa in Lagna, he is the 7th Lord exalted. 7th Lord exalted with the UL Lord, right, in the Rashi. So because of all these links, Mercury is actually the stronger link in the chart, and that is why it is trying to wait till Mercury's influence comes into her life, till Mercury Dasa comes. So I would rather put Mercury on her rather than Jupiter if she really wants to get married early. So from that point of view, my suggestion would be emerald, an emerald ring. Emerald ring on the little finger.
Why little finger?
Because that is Kamatrikona. Moksha, Artha, Dharma, Kama. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So Kamatrikona, and of course Mercury does have to do with Kamatrikona. He is the 7th Lord. So wearing an emerald in silver or platinum, but preferably not gold, either in silver or platinum on the little finger of the right hand, can help her get married. But the thing is, it may or may not be necessary. The best thing is to pray to Kartikeya whenever she gets a chance, and fast on Saturdays and pray to Sadashiva for marriage. Those two things if she does, there is a good chance of marriage next year itself. Till this October, chance is not that. Till this year end, the chance is not that high. Despite best efforts, the chance is maybe 10-20%. But after next January, chance is higher. And next April, May, June time frame, the chance is maybe 60-70%. But if that doesn't work out, 2011, the chance is like 95%.
And emerald is actually good for her job also.
It is excellent for her job, unless Dasamsa is messed up. Let us look at Dasamsa, because you can't really predict job without looking at Dasamsa. How is Mercury in Dasamsa? He is in the 10th house. He is actually giving Dhimanta Yoga, 5th Lord and 6th Lord together in the 10th house. It is very good. It is, if wearing emerald is good for marriage as well as job. But if she wants best results on the job front, the best thing to wear, best finger to wear would be the middle finger.
So till
For Artha.
here, then wear it.
Yes, good idea.
And we will do that.
Yes, good idea. But the only problem will be they will be different sizes. Okay. Any other comments, or shall we leave? Shall we stop here? Any other comments you have on this chart? Okay, so with that we will end the class today. Good, very good. Om Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.